Hello there. I got an email a little while ago about leading reeds and how someone can put a reed on that may be too sharp, too high, and to lead it. And it really is a very simple process. It's quite a difficult technique to master, but the actual process is very, very simple. So I'm just going to quickly run through a process that anyone can try. Very few tools are required, and it really is a technique that you can learn quickly and apply to your harps. So this is how I do it. So the first thing you need to buy is a standard soldering iron. This is our soldering iron. It is here. It's got a UK plug on it. And what I do is I modify the tip. Just find a file here. What I do is I modify this tip. If you look here, what I've got is I file the tip at a slight angle here, and I modify the tip with a little tiny indent on one side. I'll do a picture of that, and that allows me to put a reed plate on. Grab a reed plate here. It allows me to put a reed plate on and isolate the reed that I want to lead. So the soldering iron can go in the slot and push up, and it can hold the reed up without a lot of interference with other reeds, and it sort of just gives me a good flat base. If it was dead flat, because the reed goes at an angle, the soldering iron would tip to one side and you wouldn't get the heat directly on the tip of the reed. So you need to cut a little slot in the soldering iron so that you can get right to the tip of your reed. So that's the first thing, is to get yourself a soldering iron and to modify the tip. It takes a couple of minutes. After you've modified your soldering iron, you need to mount it into a vise. I just put mine in a vise, a simple vise, and I plug it in. Now, the key to soldering is to make the soldering iron very, very hot before you start. A lot of mess and difficulties occur when people don't wait for the soldering iron to reach its full temperature. So I turn this on and I leave it for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just so that tip is at the optimum temperature to start. Okay, so now we've got an old reed plate. I suggest that you try and practice this on old reed plates. So to prepare the reed, there's not really much to do. I use an electrical sort of a polisher, really. You can get these off the eBay for next to nothing, and I just clean up that tip of the reed just in case there is any oils on there. So if the reed that I'm going to do is going to be this one, I just rub it a couple of times with a sort of a cleaning brush, really. It's sort of a fiberglass pen that they use in the electrical business. So that's what I do. This is the reed that we're going to do. And you can just see I've just polished the tip up there just to remove any oils. Okay, so now we just take out our practice reed plate. This is an old one that I've had in the drawer a while, and I just position it over the soldering iron, and the tip comes through the slot, just touches the tip of the reed, and after a little bit of moving around you'll get the optimum position, and the reed will melt pretty instantaneously, and you can pretty much move from one reed to the next pretty quickly. The reed plate will heat up, so you do need to move quickly, and if you're going to do a whole reed plate, I would suggest you do a few reeds and cool it down. Once you've done a few practices, you'll get the swing of it, and then it's a case of moving on to your reed plate, your good reed plate. Here's a reed plate that I did straight after the practice one. As you can see, you can move down there fairly quickly and get a good amount of solder on each of the reeds. Obviously there's going to be more solder on the bigger reeds than the smaller ones, but you can quite quickly drop your harmonica down a tone and a half, 2 tones, minor third, however much you want to. You're going to need to tune it after this, don't forget. You're never going to be spot on, and you'll be surprised how low the reed does go. So you are going to need to tune it, so that's going to be another topic. So thanks for watching.